calling all real estate agents that tried lead generation and it didn't work. A quick tip to change that perspective. So, I am in a training which I transparently have sat on for about, it's not real estate related at all, but I sat on for probably about a year. Got in last year, went through it, outlined it. I got a whole process when I go through training, so I really consume it. So, went through, have an understanding, started it, didn't finish it. Um, so it's brokering, e-commerce kind of thing. So anyway, I've committed to finishing the final step this year. So I'm going back through the training, walking through it. I go into one of the communities um, to, I was looking for something. I don't know what I was looking for. And I'm reading some of the comments, and I read a comment from a guy that had basically gotten the results. And this is what really threw me off and sparked this. So he went through the results. He said he'd been in the program for about 2, maybe 3 years, had sold a decent amount of the product. It's in a luxury goods space. And he hoped to go full time, but he was having trouble finding something, enough inventory to go full time. So he's like, I didn't want to start part time. It did like a couple dozen deals, made X amount of dollars, and this and that and that. And then goes on to, this doesn't work because I was hoping that I could do this. I was hoping I could quit my job and go full time, and just rambling on and on and on. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, positioning. We've got a gentleman that was in our first cohort from the 3-day new construction buyer traction training. And we do a heavy goal mapping, which we're going to talk more about in January. We're going to have a goal mapping. It's a 3-day session. We're doing some goal mapping. He was reluctant to the goal mapping. He was like, I don't know you people. I'm not sharing this. I'm not doing this. Blah, 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 blah. Turned around, changed his whole trajectory and where he was going, thinking forward. But he had said, he was like, oh yeah, I only did like 150,000 last year. This is a real estate agent. I only did 150,000 last year, and I had all these deals, and da da da. I don't know it. I don't know if this, da, 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 da. And I'm like, sir, you know how many agents would like to do 150,000 in GCI in a year, and you're complaining about it. You're saying I don't know what I'm doing, and you by mistake. It wasn't my mistake because he's a hard worker and he's a closer, but it was up here. Also, this gentleman that was complaining he only did a couple dozen deals, and other people in the community. It's the beauty of having a community. It's like the new construction marketing community and our client-only bat phone. There's encouragement. They're like, don't quit. You got results. You know what you're doing. You got to shift. Here's some little small pivots, etc. you can make. This just reminds me of what I hear a lot of agents saying, oh, well, lead generation doesn't work for me. And they're like, I ran Facebook ads and I got some leads in, but they were crap. It's like, oh, let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. You said lead generation doesn't work, but you got leads in and you had some conversations, they were just not the quality conversation you wanted. So let's reframe that. It actually does work. You are proof that it works. But too often we let our heads get in the way. We're like, oh, it doesn't work because I didn't get the result that I wanted. You didn't get the result that you wanted because of the way that you're thinking about the result. You got the result. Other people would, like, pardon the analogy, but kill to be in those shoes. It's all about the reframing and the perspective. And when you can have that perspective shift and say, oh, wait a minute, this does work. And have gratitude behind that and be like, wait a minute, hold on. This does work. Okay, so let me make a few small tweaks so that I can make this work better. That is the key to success in anything, really. I've heard dudes talking about their wives or girlfriends and like, she did it, and women the same way. Oh, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that, blah, blah, blah. But what does he do? What does she do? So when you reframe it and be like, oh, it's not as bad as I think, because your mind's automatically going to go to like, oh, doom and gloom. But if you reframe it and say, wait, this does work. and I can do this. And once you change that, flip that switch, it's a game changer. It's like, wait a minute. All right. Oh, I didn't cross that T. Cross the T, bam. Bell curve. Things work. So that's a very important differentiator when you're looking at lead generation. If you've tried it and you've gotten leads, that is absolute proof that it works. Now, the key is lead generation, quality leads. Now, you can get a whole bunch of leads and close. I have folks that are like, I swear by Facebook ads. I talk to 300 people and I get a deal out of there, and I just keep grinding and working and nurturing. Totally works. I don't believe in working harder. I believe in working smarter. We use Google Ads. Google Ads is intent-based. Somebody's looking for real estate. Somebody's looking for new construction. They find me. They call me. We work together directly or down the line. But it's a much easier and it's a much better sale. Outside of new construction is the easiest sale you can make. So look at lead generation from that perspective. If you've ever tried it and you got leads, you can't say it doesn't work. Absolutely works. Now it's a matter of fine-tuning it and working a little harder. It's kind of like when you take that test in school and you got a D, well, you passed. So you got to study a little harder and figure out what you didn't get so that you can get that B or get that A. It's the same process. But people are so, especially agents, are so easy to be like, oh, I'm just going to give up and do something else, which, how's that working for you? So especially at this time of the year, because this time of the year when things kind of slow down, I totally believe in going full force now, or at least maintaining, because every other agent is, ad cost will go down probably beginning of the year, but that's when everybody's going to ramp up. I want to have leads. I want to have people now. So when it picks up, you got a pipeline. That's the purpose of a pipeline, to keep the business flowing. So reframe that. If you're like, oh, lead generation doesn't work, it's not for me, but you've seen other people do it. Number one, this is another key here too. If somebody else did it, number one, it's not that hard. Number two, it can be done again. Think about that. So we're going to do the Iconic Agent Goal Mapping Mastermind in January. We're picking the dates now. We're going to wait till after the holidays and all that, but we have a mindset coach coming in and actually talking to some of the attendees. It's going to be a 3-day. It's 4 hours a day, 3 days. You got to commit to it, or it doesn't even make sense to come. But if you want to put together a plan for life, I'm not talking just business. I'm talking about everything, where your eyes are open like, whoa, and you want to begin to accomplish all those goals that you've been setting and haven't been able to. Let's have a conversation. This is a process I've been using for the last 4 years. I've actually accidentally been using it longer, but it's allowed me, as well as tens of thousands of other folks. I didn't create it. I've just used it and modified it, but tens of thousands of other folks have used this process, and every year to 18 months, they're knocking things out that would normally take 3 to 5 years. And it's simple, it's methodical, it's all based on you and what's up here. If that sounds good to you and you're interested in finally getting out of your way and really just hitting all your goals, let's have a conversation. Comment in the comments. More info, we'll get that to you. Or click on the links in the bios. You can find my email or text me up there. Text me information and I'll get that to you. It'll be in January. Talk to you on the next one.